Hey guys, welcome to week 5 of our distance learning, and we are working on a performance task that is titled A Question of Numbers. And it says Holly's class is learning about big numbers. Number 1, here is part of the class number line. And if you noticed, I've already highlighted the two numbers on the number line. And what I noticed first about this is that my tens place is where the number changes. That I have the same amount of hundreds, but a different amount of tens. And so I'm going to see if I count by ones, if that's how this number line is created. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to count by ones and see if that's correct. And then I'm going to go on to see what my question is. And it says 651, 652, 653, 654. And I'm going to just keep doing that until I get, and I'm going up and down so that my writing gives me some space. And yep, it is down, it is counting by ones. So now I'm going to look at the first question. And the first question is going to ask me, it says, put an X on the number line on the place that is halfway between 650 and 660. What is the number that should be there? Now, some of us might go, well, I know that 655 is halfway. There's others of us who aren't sure. And so a strategy to help you find out what halfway would be is if you take one off of the end and then you take one off the other end. And you kind of just do this all the way until you can no longer take away. And then this is half. So I'm going to put my X right there. And so my answer is 655. All right, let's go ahead and go on to number 2. Number 2 says, Holly knows a pony weighs between 365 pounds and 425 pounds. Write a possible number for the weight of a pony. Well, I notice here, when I look at it, is that the hundreds place changes. So I have a 3 and I have a 4. And my tens place is different too. I have a 6 and a 5. So I need to keep that in mind when I'm making an estimate of what maybe a pony could weigh that is between these two numbers. I know that I can't go lower than 300 and I also can't go higher than 400. So I'm going to go ahead and say that a pony could be 400. Now I'm going to think about the tens place. My tens needs to stay between 60 and 365 and between the 420 and 425. So if I said that, so it can't be more than 420. I already have a 4 in my hundreds place. So I'm going to say 400 and I'm going to give it 110. And now that I know that I am less than 425 and I'm greater than 365, my ones place doesn't matter. So I could say that the pony weighs 400, put a 2 in the ones place, 412 pounds. So this is a question where you have lots of possible answers. And so what you need to keep in mind is that you need to look at your place value to help you make an estimate. You need to look at the hundreds, the tens, and the ones, and make sure that you're choosing numbers that are staying in between the two numbers that were given. You need to think about it almost like on a number line. So you need to think about it if you had 365 on a number line, and it goes all the way to 425. So you need to choose a number anywhere between the two. All right, so our next thing is number 3. Number 3 says, the activity center swimming pool holds between 1,875 gallons and 1,940 gallons of water. Write a possible number for the amount of water the swimming pool holds. Again, envisioning this on a number line, I know that I can't have more than 1,000 because when I look at my two numbers, they are in the thousands place. So I need to keep it there. So I'm going to write my 1,000 and I'm going to write my comma as my placeholder. And then I have 800 and 900. So it needs to stay between there. The number can't be lower than 800. And if I go higher than 900, then I'm actually in 2000. So that's not going to work either. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put an 8 in the hundreds place. Now I need to look at the tens place. I need to have something higher than 70 in my tens place. And that is so I can choose 70, 80, or 90 before the hundreds place would change. So I'm going to go ahead and put an 80. And the ones place isn't going to matter at this point because no matter what, I'm going to end up being between the 1,875 and the 1,940. I'm going to go ahead and just put a 3. That the swimming pool could hold 1,883 gallons. And just a reminder that my answers are not the only correct answers. There are lots of answers here that could be correct. So you just really need to think about, if my numbers were on a number line, am I staying between the two numbers that have been given to me? So let's go ahead and take a look at number 4. Number 4. A school computer could cost between $2,950 and $3,055. Give 3 possible prices for the computer. So I need to stay in between that amount, and I need to give 3 different prices. So I'm going to say the first one could be $2,000, and I have to be between. So I'm going to have to use 900 as the hundreds place, and I could say $55. That's one option. I could say that it could be $3,000 because I know that 3,000 is between 2,950 and 3,055. Now my next option cannot be more than 3,055, so it cannot have any hundreds place. So I'm going to do my 3,000, no hundreds place, and let's say $25 because the 2 tens is staying less than my 5 tens in the number that's been given to me. All right, so let's go ahead and look at our second page. Number 5. The American Revolution started in 1775 and finished in 1783. In which year was it halfway through? Show how you know using this number line. Well, they gave me a number line to look at. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and mark some more lines and count by 1 using this number line. So it started in 1775. Well, 75 is halfway between 1770 and 1780. So I'm going to mark that 1775 because that's a known date to me. And it finished in 1783. So here's 1780, and I'm going to go ahead and go right here, 1783. Now, what I'm going to do is like I did the first time. I'm going to just start taking away to find which year was halfway through. So I need to finish this number line. I'm going to go ahead and zoom myself in so that I can write better on my screen. All right, so here we go. I'm going to say I need to get 76, 77, 78, and then 79. Now, I'm not doing the very neatest here, but I'm still labeling 81 and 82, just so I can start taking things away. So I'm going to change the color of my pen so we can start taking things away and find out what's in the middle. So you take 1 away from the beginning of the number line, 1 away from the end of the number line. The next one from the beginning, the next one from the end. The next one from the beginning, the next one from the end. And so now I'm left with 78, 79, and 80. So I'm going to take away 78. I'm going to take away 80, and that leaves 1779 to be in the middle. 1779. All right, let's go on to number 6. Holly's teacher says the school library has 1,000 books. Holly thinks that the library may have 40 more books. What is the greatest number of books that the library could have? Show how you figured this out. So Holly's teacher says the school library has 1,000 books. Holly thinks that the library may have 40 more. So what is the greatest number of books the library could have? Well, the teacher thinks that it has 1,000, and Holly thinks that it has 40 more. So I need to give 1,040 more, which means there's no hundreds. So I'm going to put a 0 in the hundreds place, a 4 in the tens place, and a 0 in the ones place. All right. And so I figured that out by thinking about my place value, thousands, hundreds, tens, and ones, and putting the numbers into place. Tom thinks the library may have 40 fewer books than 1,000. What is the smallest number of books the library could have? So now I need to think about, well, what's the smallest number? So 1,000, and then I need 40 fewer. So I need to take 40 away. Now, this is going to require, I think, some regrouping. So I'm going to draw myself a large box. And this is going to be my 1,000. And I need to take 40 away from this. So I really need to break this apart so that I can take 40 away. So in 1,000, I know that there are 10 hundreds. So I'm going to draw 10 smaller boxes to be my hundreds. And I know that in each side, each 100, there's 10 tens. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I'm going to take this last 100 and make it into tens. And I'm going to just do lines for that. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. Now I'm going to take 40 away. 10, 20, 30, 40. Okay, and this 1,000 has been broken apart, so I need to cross that out. So now I'm going to count up my hundreds. And I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 900. And now I'm going to count my tens. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. So 960 would be my answer. All right, so what we're going to do next, that's it. So if you got those answers, that's awesome. If you had any questions about it, make sure that you talk to your teacher or contact your teacher and let them know that you would like to have some help on this. I hope you guys are all doing great.